Yo, what's cracking? You know what it is. It's your homeboy Ice Cube. And some of you may not have realized that I'm not part of the club. And a lot of you listening to me right here, right now, you're not part of the club either. And what I realized with the club is what makes them so mad is when you don't want to be a part of their club. That pisses them off. What club am I talking about? I'm talking about the club of gatekeepers that we all got to deal with. You know who they are, and they definitely know who they are.
What?
A lot of people would be like, what? Who? Come on, man, stop playing. So, ever since I put out the contract with Black America, you know they've been fucking here and there, this and that. But it's cool, you know. I expect that. You know, I've been working with, on the big three for a long time, and you know how they've been with me with that. I done made it, plain, simple, and clear what they've been doing. The NBA been fucking with us. Now, a lot of people might say, like, well, but Cube, you want to work with the NBA. Really, I don't give a fuck about working with the NBA. What I want them to do, when I say work with us, is to stop working against us. Stop doing that bullshit behind the scenes that we...
For the record, guys, on the contract with Black America, when I had Dr. Derek Hamilton on my show to discuss it, Ice Cube wasn't talking no crazy shit. He was talking about baby bonds, economic development, business funding, lending access for black businesses, criminal justice changes, police accountability, and educational and voting rights. He wasn't talking like, oh, we need everybody to get a G-Wagon in their oil field. We need all black people to own some white people to make it even. He wasn't talking crazy shit. He was talking about things that were like very realistic, and some of them could have been done very easily with a pen, and Biden wouldn't even talk to him. And they blamed him, and they won. They blamed Cube, and they won anyway, and they still blamed him. That's how petty the Democrats are.
Mainstream media, they ain't with us. And that's cool. We can do it ourselves, you know what I'm saying? We still on the rise without these so we don't need them, you don't need them. So what am I going to do to deal with gatekeepers? Well, what I'm going to do is go on the Gatekeepers podcast tour. And I'm going to go talk to everybody, and get a chance to get my message out to the people. Be able to let people hear from me, and you might agree, you might not, but the important thing is, for me to go on these platforms, say what I feel about what I think.
We respect Ice Cube's hustle, and he is an icon in our community, and he's for the culture and all that. That goes without saying. So let me get this right. Back in 2020, when he was, doing his thing with the contract with Black America, you only went on Roland. I think you went on Roland, and you went on some show with Vivica Fox, and both of them tried to stab you in the back and torpedo you live during their interviews.
Mention these things, okay, maybe it was before he knew he needed the black vote as much as he do. You never know. This is what deals are made of. So I don't know what they're going to do. No. That's not the case. Hold on. I can tell you personally. No. Hold up. You said before you knew the black vote. I just want to just correct something, Ice Cube. I'm gonna let you finish. I just want to correct something. I met with the White House in 2018. They told me directly in 2018, we think we can get 20% black male support in the 2020. So it didn't. They were fully aware of that.
Why'd you meet with him? Why'd you meet with him?
I'm a journalist.
Why'd you meet with him?
I'm a journalist.
What'd you meet with him to talk about?
I'm a journalist. I met with them to talk about public policy issues, to ask them those various
public
questions.
Policy issues, and that thing was to get 20% of the vote.
No, right.
Okay.
No, not 20% of the vote.
Did they think they was going to get that for free?
Right. This is what they said. They said they believe they could get 20% of the black male vote, and they specifically said they were going to use criminal justice reform and economic policies.
Why did they think they can get 20% of the black male vote? Why do they think that?
Because they said they think that they can appeal to disaffected black men. They point blank, they know black women don't like them.
Why can they appeal to that demographic? Who's not appealing to that demographic? How can they swoop in and get it?
Who?
That should have been covered.
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 I was just basically saying, okay, we're going to go after the private sector. We're going to go after the banks. We're going to go after Hollywood. We're going to go after the people that we know got their hands in the cookie jar. You know what I mean? So then we started to get contacted from the Democrats on September 8th. And then we started talking to them. Mm-hmm. Then we got contacted by the Republicans. So that's when the ball started rolling then. So it's not just like I just jumped into anything. I mean, I just did the contract and then people started to contact me, not the other way around. I was hoping the Democrats would be all over me. But, that wasn't the case. And I understand it wasn't like I was throwing a fit. I just was like, okay, we're going at the private sector. And then the Republicans contacted me. And to me, if you're speaking for black people, you should speak to whoever is in power or about to be in power.
And I think you had a statistic, you said something about there has been 7,000 black people elected, and you felt like in offices for us, and you felt like they ain't made a change. We've not come far at all with 7,000 of us in there. What are we going to do? Who is going to take this and say, okay, I'll be in the front line of this, and then get in the front line and have everybody come on board with you? Because let's be honest, you are Ice Cube and you do have a huge platform. So I would say that for me to know that you've been using your platform to be able to have an initiative like that, I think it's worth you doing the interviews that you're doing and letting everybody know and hear your voice on why.
I want to jump in and say, I just don't think it's that fair to the 7,000 black elected officials that have been in office.
Right, to say that they've done nothing. Right.
Yeah, because I think that is, I think that's a slippery slope to walk down, because as we saw with Barack,
a lot of progress has been made.
It's not as simple as you get elected and bam, you can make all these changes one man.
Right.
I never said that 7,000 people, black people, have never did anything. I said that since the 60s, there's been over 7,000 black politicians elected in prominent positions. And our situation, as far as the wealth gap, hasn't changed. We flatlined from the 60s to now. We have not gained or closed the wealth gap. So that's the major problem. I understand we got a lot of people working hard for progress, that the facts are it hasn't happened in the traditional way. So that's why I want to break the mold.
I was fortunate enough, Dr. Derek Hamilton come on my show. He wrote the foreword to Ice Cube and his team's contract with Black America. Let's have a real conversation, because around here we feel the same way about the gatekeepers. Come holler at me, right? And let's talk about what the future holds for the black community and how we can all contribute to making our community a better community. We need to get on our grind about what we're going to do here so that it'll be a good day So tomorrow can be a good day. So today can be a better day. You understand what I'm saying? For us. Always try to remind people, the Democratic Party is an evil party. The Republican Party is evil too. We got two evil parties, fam. I gotta break it to you. I know you want it to be nice. You want to be and say, oh, I could run over here, run over there. No, we need more parties. We have to have no permanent friends and no permanent enemies, only permanent interest. We need to vote policy and we need to negotiate from a position of strength. People that are in politics and who are not liars, they know this thing about politics when it comes to elections. And this is how it goes. The Republicans, they cheat during the general. And the Democrats, they cheat during the primary. Now, if you don't know that, you don't know politics in America. You may like it, you may hate it, but you don't know anything about politics if you don't know that. That's how the Republicans ended up with Trump 3 times. And the Democrats ended up with Kamala and Joe Biden. That's how it happened, fam. And Hillary. What, you thought Hillary was popular? So when I say things like we need more parties, that's the long game. The short game is we need to negotiate. And giving it up on the first day to the Democrats every election is that's not a negotiation. We have older Democratic voters, black Democratic voters, who won't even let the Democrats take them out on a date. Democratic Party can show up with flowers in their hand with the car running. You be like, let's come on in the house. And then when somebody like me with a big mouth says, this is not the way to negotiate a relationship. This is not the way to get what we need for our communities, they get upset. They listen to Roland, who's a multimillionaire. That's why he don't give a shit. He paid. Listen to Oprah and other actors who are multimillionaires. But when people that are working class blacks in their same position, they don't want to listen to them. So you keep listening to people who it really doesn't matter what happens, who are good. You know, they're fine. They're going to be fine. Their money's right. They're straight. Their money's right. Keep listening to the actors on Abbott Elementary about your politics. All of them are multimillionaires. You and I, not so much. So how really concerned are they about changing? I mean, would you be really concerned about change if you was flush with cash and had all the connections, had access to the vice president and the Congress people and go to the fancy brunches and luncheons and retreats? Could get your kids jobs every summer working at somebody's office, interning or something? I mean, how hard would you really work? You're at the top of the heap when it comes to the blacks in the country. In fact, we're talking about the black people that are the richest black people in the world. And you expect, and you take your broke ass is taking advice. You're letting them make major decisions on your behalf that doesn't even impact them. And I'm the one you worried about. I'm the one you second guess. You ain't second guessing the people whose kids don't go to public schools, who never even been inside a Target. Where y'all been, man? Got you boycotting stores they wouldn't be caught dead in. Y'all don't know no black people with money, do you? Let me tell y'all something. I talk a lot about race here, but we gonna have to start talking about class a little bit because some of y'all done skip class. We need to have a class on class because there are black people foundationally black people, black American people, who would not spend time with you, wouldn't be in the same room as you. The kids go to nice schools like Sidwell Friends and Georgetown Day School. You know, like the schools Jasmine Crockett went to. And they cosplay like they understand you, when in reality, hand sanitizer as soon as your ass get out the car. Was that a Coach bag she was carrying? Jesus Christ. Michael Kors? He was driving a Camaro. These are black people. Y'all ain't been around black people with money. You think that they're like you because you watch Hollywood Squares or some shit. All right, let's keep going. Let's say on the elections, Tim. One thing at a time. But I want you to understand. They not like us is not just to Latinos, and Asians, and white folks, okay? I've been here since 2012. Build your own platform, fam. You may never be rich, but you'll never be owned. They'll never own you. Having you afraid to speak your mind for your people when a Sonia Massey gets her face blown off in her own living room and you can't say nothing because the Democrats haven't given you the word that it's okay to talk about it. You won't come out and say anything about Cyrus Carmack Belton because, well, you don't want to rise tensions with the Asian community. And the Democrats haven't sanctioned you to have that conversation. They wouldn't even come out about Carmelo Anthony till he was already sentenced. Nah, man. What good is having a platform? What good is having a voice if you ain't allowed to use it? Or if you're afraid to use it because you don't want repercussions and consequences. Well, where I come from, consequences and repercussions just part of the business. Not everybody's willing to pay them. Hit the like button on this if this makes sense to you. If you understand what I'm putting down, Johnson, I'm not talking for my health. I'm talking for our liberation.
Catch Tim Black live on the most dangerous show in America. Sundays, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Times. Don't miss out on the real. Stay dangerous.